How you doing out there, people? How you doing with the stay-at-home order? This quarantine we're going through, this lockdown we're going through. Y'all okay? Good? I see some of y'all out there, you know, you used to being home, used to being around certain people. You don't really go out and travel like that anyway. So a lot of y'all good. So some of y'all okay out here. But some of y'all I'm looking at, y'all don't look like y'all doing too good. Y'all look like y'all struggling a little bit here. You know, can't get your hair cut, can't get your hair done. These people in your house driving you crazy. You know, other things driving you crazy. Starting to deal with a lot of frustration stuff. But I just want to check and see how y'all doing. Make sure everybody all right. You didn't hurt nobody. Okay. Just make sure you're okay. That's all. Stopping by, just say hi. Just ride by. You know, we're not allowed. We got to keep 6 feet distance. I don't got no mask on, so stop by and say hi. How I'm doing? Oh, let me tell you how I'm doing. You know how when you forced to stay put or you forced to look at some things, you start to notice some things that you previously ignored? I mean, think about it. Didn't you do that before? Don't you do that sometimes where you ignore some things or you just overlook some things and you know it's there, but you choose not to recognize it? Or you got that I'll do later list. You know that I do later lists. Like you'll get to something later, you'll get back to it, and you know that you got to clean up or you know you got to declutter, but you know you'll get to that later because you're kind of busy. Well, when you lock down, it's kind of difficult to use the excuse that you're busy because where are you going to go, right? That's kind of where I'm at right now. This is how I'm doing. Went in the kitchen to make some breakfast, people, and realized when I went to get the pots that it was just complete clutter and chaos under my where the pots are stored. Couldn't even find the pot I wanted. It took me about 10, 15 minutes to find the pot I wanted. Then you went to the junk drawer. Went to the junk drawer. You know how you go get a screwdriver or something, you go to the junk drawer. We all got junk drawers, right? You got junk drawers? I got junk drawers. We all got junk drawers. And when you go in the junk drawer to find something, you search it under old coupon books for like KFC, Burger King, outdated coupon books from like 3, 4 months ago. These coupons you can't use them no more. Then you look under the old soy sauce, the old duck sauce, this outdated duck sauce and soy sauce that you saved from the last time you bought Chinese food probably 6 months ago. And you're looking under all this stuff. Now I'm starting to get frustrated. Go down to the studio, I look in the closet, because I got a closet in the studio where we store all of our stuff at. And you start to see more clutter. So now I'm really getting irritated. This one feeling, people. Now I'm getting really irritated. Then I go up to my bedroom and I see old paperwork, just stacks and stacks of old paperwork just sitting on my TV stand. Now I can't take it no more. So what do? I get frustrated about everybody that's living in my house right now. I'm getting frustrated everybody living in the house, everybody's around me, everybody's locked down with me because I'm sitting there thinking to myself, well, don't you see these papers up on the TV stand? Don't you see these pots all disorganized under the sink or under wherever the cabinet you have it in? Don't you see the junk drawer then overflow with junk and we got old stuff that we don't even need no more. We got coupons that we can't even use no more. This duck sauce is outdated. It's so outdated now and been there so long now it's leaking on other stuff. Like, don't you see this? And you start to get irritated and frustrated at people. You get irritated and frustrated at people. Because one, your freedom has been impeded on. That's one. And now because you got so much clutter in your life, you feel like your peace has been infringed on. And that's how we all live every single day. That's what we experience every single day. Don't we? Don't you experience this? You experience irritation from 2 different things. Because your freedom is being infringed on you and your peace is being disrupted. You're probably wondering, what does this got to do, what freedom and peace have to do with the fact that you didn't clean out your junk drawer, organize your pots, or you got a bunch of unnecessary paperwork still on your TV stand? Well, it has to do with the fact that I got frustrated, irritated at others that they didn't create it. It also has to do with is the fact that I allowed things to sit here and linger and stay in my life that had no purpose in my life. That had no purpose, such as the junk drawer, such as my closet and studio full of things that I probably won't even use, don't even need. But just keep it because, hey, let's just be honest, people. I'm a hoarder. Okay? But it has everything to do with what you're experiencing in your life and what you're feeling. And so like you, when you deal with freedom, your freedom being infringed on, your peace being attacked, we get irritated with others, we get frustrated with others because we feel like they're the biggest reason that our freedom is being infringed on, our peace is being attacked. It has to be because of others that we're feeling this, right? So we get irritated, we get frustrated. Some of us get bitter. I think I'm going over your head a little bit. I gotta slow down a little bit. I think I'm going over your head just a little bit. So let me slow it down, back it up a little bit. Okay? Think about it, people. You go to your job, right? How many of you right now listen to this show? How many of you in earshot of the show, you watching this show, that goes to work every day, and you're at this point where you at your positivity is like right here. Your positivity is like right here. Your frustration with people is like at level here. It's not here. It's not here. It's not getting to here. It's here. It's above. It's off the charts. You can't take another second of the people you work with. If you get one more email of somebody telling you what you didn't do, running to your boss trying to tell on you, you won't snap. You sitting there asking yourself, how you been at a job 20, 15, 20, 30 years, and you can't find a way out? You're pissed off because your peace has been infringed on. But you look at a job and you ask yourself, as you frustrated, as you venting about this job that you're so frustrated, you're pissed off, your positivity is up here, you ask yourself, well, why am I staying here? Why do I stay at this job? Why do I choose to stay at this job? Why do I stay in this situation? You know why? Because that job offers you a sense of freedom. It offers you a sense of freedom. You might wonder, well, what kind of freedom does it offer me? Well, it offers you freedom of paying your bill, pay your cable bill, pay your electric bill, pay your car payment. And it gives you some sense of freedom. But that sense of freedom that job gives you is all part of your imagination. You ever heard that song by Temptations? It's just my imagination once again, running away from me. I know I can't sing. My wife said I can't. I think I sing good. My wife says I can't sing. I think I'm a professional singer. I might go on tour. But, the Temptation song talks about how our imagination is just running away from us. It's the same thing at your job when you think that your paycheck is giving you a sense of freedom. What it's really doing is, it's the very thing that's taking away your freedom. Because it's just your imagination running away from you. But see, the word freedom is a very relevant term because, see, freedom to people is all different. There's different levels and different types of freedom. And let's break it down. Let's break it down. A person sitting in jail right now sees freedom as being released from behind bars. A person in an abusive relationship sees freedom as being taken away, getting away from their abusive husband, abusive father, abusive son, or abusive mother. Abusive relationship, that's how they identify freedom. Some people identify freedom as just being free from being in debt. So freedom is a very relevant term that's different for all people. But at the end of the day, no matter how relevant it is or how expansive it is, it's all the same thing because we all seeking some sense of freedom, but we can't find it. And when we can't find our freedom, what comes with it is our peace begins to be attacked. And our peace is being attacked because we're sitting here holding on to something that we think that's giving us freedom. Why that we're holding on to that rope that's giving us freedom. Attached to that rope is something or someone with a sword attacking our peace. So how do we deal with that? How do we clear out our junk drawers? How do we organize the pots? How do we finally go and attack that closet that's sitting there with a bunch of stuff that you just hoarded and you're keeping because you don't really need? How do you finally recognize and go through the paperwork that's sitting on your TV stand to finally say to yourself, I don't need this anymore. These are old financial documents from 2013. What do I need this for? If somebody come and ask me about my bank statements from 2013, well, you know what? They out of luck. Bottom line. Well, one, we got to look at relationships we in, people. We got to look at the relationships we in. And I'm not talking about the relationships you in with your husbands or your wives. See, when I talk about relationships, I'm talking about a broad statement of relationships. I'm talking about the relationships you're in, your work relationships. I'm talking about the relationships you're in with your friends. I'm talking about the relationships you're in with food. I'm talking about the relationships you're in with bad habits. We got to talk about our relationships first because that's the understanding what happened to our freedom and why our peace has been taken away. A lot of times we deal with relationships, we stay in relationships for the exact reason of what we're talking about and what we're looking for today. We're looking for the true way out and the true journey into finding freedom. So we stay in relationships because it offers us a sense of freedom. At least that's what we think it does. But like the Temptations say, it's just my imagination once again. All right, I'm going to stop singing. It's just your imagination running away from you and taking you down the road where you think is leading you to freedom. So you got to analyze and you got to do some spring cleaning. Sure, like I had to do, you got to do some spring cleaning in your life. You got to let go of those toxic friends. You got to let go of those toxic friends who constantly telling you what you can't do. who constantly bringing their problems and dropping their problems on you, but don't pick up nothing on you. It's like depositing money into a bank account, right? It's like this. You go to your bank and you keep withdrawing money, but you don't ever deposit anything. What happens, people? What happens when you do that? Eventually, you know what happens? That well runs dry. You go to the bank and you realize you only got 22 cents in your account and your ATM card don't work no more. The bank is tired of you withdrawing without depositing anything. Well, see, here's the thing. In your life right now, you got friends right now who are withdrawing money from you, withdrawing time, withdrawing energy from you, but they're not depositing anything back into you. And what I mean by depositing something back into you, depositing some kind of positive energy, positive quotes, a positive post, even just letting you vent to let out some of the things you're feeling. You gotta release those people who are sitting there with negative balance in your life. You gotta learn to say, hey, you overdrawn your account. I gotta back off. You putting too much in me. I need to take back, and you gotta come back to me when you make a few deposits. Because you can't go to your bank teller and like, I only got 22 cents in my account. My ATM card ain't working. They gonna tell you, okay, well, you got a check or anything? You got a couple dollars you want to put in there? This account, this ATM only lets you take out $20 increments. So you need at least, $20 in here. You got $20 deposit, then your ATM card will work. Well, you got to look at your friends the same way, people. You got to deposit something in my life so I can have something to give to you. You got to have something I can give to you. You got to look at people that you're quarantined with, that you're locked down with. Because now you're forced to look at these people. You're forced to get to know these people. And you got to see what type of part are they playing in your life and what type of part are you playing in their lives. It's time to clean out this anxiety you're feeling, this depression, this stress you're feeling. Because see, all that is a part of your imagination. Once again, running away from you. Your imagination creates anxiety inside your mind. It creates depression inside your mind because your mind is so congested. It's so cluttered. You got to spring clean your mind, your spirit, your soul. Because a lot of times what we do is we hold in old things that frustrate us, old things that stress us, old conversations that got us upset. We storage that into us. We hoard all that pain, frustration, and stress inside of us. Okay, you missed the deadline at work. Cool. And you come home and you hold that down. When you dig it, you just deposit it deep inside you. Then something else happens. Somebody cuts you off on the way to the supermarket. Somebody cut in line and you don't say nothing. You don't respond to them. What you're doing is you're just depositing more and more frustration and anger and stress inside you. And the more you're doing it, you're depositing it. There's no release. There's nothing coming out of it. So what's happening to you, people? What's happening to us? What's happening is we're creating a role for anxiety. We create a role for stress, depression. And what does all those things do? They impede on our peace. They impede on the peace, that very peace that we're looking to get, that we're searching for. The depression that we're feeling is impeding our peace. See, a lot of us are dealing with depression because we got family members who are lost or still here that don't show us they love us and don't appreciate us and don't tell us they're proud of us. And we hold that inside of us because we're looking for that validation from them to tell me I'm okay. Tell me I'm good. Tell me I'm great. Tell me I'm beautiful. Tell me that you love me. When the reality is you don't need the validation of somebody else to tell you things. You need the validation of yourself. Look in the mirror and tell yourself that you love you. Tell yourself that you're good enough. Learn to collect mental trophies like you collect bad thoughts, like you collect stress. You ain't hearing me though. Collect mental trophies. So when you win something, when you do something good, when you do, not only you meet that deadline at work, but you get there 2-3 weeks or 2-3 days before that deadline, it's a mental trophy. When you get a promotion, when you succeed at something, when you do good at saving, when you clap back at somebody who's been sitting here cutting you off in the supermarket. I know it's probably seen as negativity, but you know what? You got to take those mental trophies. When your child graduates school, when your child does something good, when you do something good to make yourself feel good, when you go buy yourself an outfit, get yourself a pedicure, get your hair done, keep those mental trophies. Because see, when you are going through something, when depression and anxiety comes up, and it kicks up dust in your head, when it starts to impede on your peace, you can pull out those mental trophies and say, yo, I'm a winner, I'm a champion. I'm a succeeder. I'm an overcomer. So you can't beat me down. You can't impede on my peace. Because guess what? You got a sword, I got a bigger sword. So you want to go to battle? Let's battle. You got to battle back against those things that are attacking your peace. But also you have to learn to clear out your closet. Organize your drawer. Organize that cabinet that's holding those pots. You got to look at yourself to organize it, not others. But you're not hearing me though. Some of us are at stress right now at work. We're stressed out at work. We're pissed off at our boss because they don't care about us during this quarantine and this coronavirus. We're pissed off at our boss because they're not giving us opportunities to grow. And I understand some of us, financial, like I said, financial is freedom. Finances is freedom to some people because if you can't pay your bills, if you're struggling and you up all night trying to figure out how you pay your bills, that $100 you hit from the lottery, that $1,000 you might find, that $20 in the supermarket parking lot you might find, that can represent freedom to some people. That is the very definition of freedom to some people. Because some people say freedom is having freedom of speech, have freedom to go where you want. But freedom is such a relevant term. It's so expansive that freedom to some people is just being able to pay my bills. Freedom to be able to travel the world. Freedom to be able to not call somebody else boss. Freedom to take vacation whenever I feel like it. Freedom to everybody is different. But we get irritated when we feel like people are taking away. They're disrupted. They're disrupting our freedom. They're taking away our freedom. We get upset when our managers and our bosses take away our freedom. We get upset when politicians take away our freedom. We get upset when bill collectors take away our freedom because financially, that is our freedom. And we get irritated with other people. Like I got irritated with people in my house. I was getting irritated with people in my house. And I'm like, yo, why you ain't pick up the drawer? Then I look at myself and say, why didn't you? You recognize the problem, so why didn't you do it? Why are you, instead you up there organize the cabinet you chose to spend your energy getting mad, why somebody else didn't do it? Instead you cleaning up that old soy sauce package or throwing away the old duck sauce package, you too busy trying to worry about why somebody else didn't do it. When you could have took that same energy and just used it to clean it up. Because obviously it's bothering you. You seen that closet was cluttered, so take the time. You got all the time on your hands right now. Go clean that own closet out. See, we looking at our bosses to create freedom with us. We looking at somebody else to give us that freedom. When the reality is we got to look at ourselves and say to ourselves, yo, I'm responsible for my freedom. If it's financial freedom, then look at this. There's a million ways to make money out here. A million ways. When you break down how your companies are making money and what they're paying you, they're making millions to the pennies you're making. But you don't understand what I'm saying though right now. But so I'm gonna break it down simpler to you because I don't think you get it. I'm looking at you and you looking at me like you're a little confused. Okay, so I'm gonna break it down simpler, people. You ever seen where they dangling a horse in front of a carrot in front of a horse, and the horse is motivated by the carrot, so they put a carrot on a fishing pole and they dangle the carrot in front of the horse, so the horse is steady running towards the carrot. Or you ever been to a racetrack and you ever see greyhounds racing? And you notice they chasing this rabbit. They put a rabbit on this metal stick, and the greyhounds are motivated to chase this rabbit. So they're not racing because they know they're in a race. They're racing because they're trying to race against this rabbit that they'll never chase. See, you're not chasing no carrot. And nobody's dangling a carrot in front of you because you probably don't even like carrots. You don't even eat healthy. So you're not interested in carrot. And you don't sure ain't chasing a rabbit unless you're chasing them out your yard because they keep eating your garden or you're messing up your grass. So you ain't chasing no rabbit, you ain't chasing no carrot, but what you are chasing is, you chasing that money though. And the funny thing about that money, you chasing a $100 bill just keep blowing in the wind. That obtainable $100 bill, you can see it, you can smell it, you can taste it, you can feel it in your fingertips. And you chase that $100 bill because that $100 bill represents freedom to you. But the whole time you chase that $100 bill, you don't realize you got $20,000 stacked up in the corner. Just sitting there, ain't blowing in the wind, ain't moving around, nothing. It's stationary. You can just sit there, and if you stop long enough, if you just turn your body and look and stretch out your hand and reach, you can touch that money without chasing it. But see, you've been taught to chase something. Listen to a lot of y'all say, yo, I'm out here chasing the bag. That's exactly what you're doing. While you chasing the bag, your company owner's sitting there like, yeah, you chasing the bag, and I'm just sitting here collecting it. Because they recognize when I look to the side, I see a stack of $1,000 bills or $10,000 sitting there for me just to grab. So I'm going to just sit here and throw $100 out in the wind. And while you chasing that, searching for freedom, I'm going to sit here and enjoy my freedom. You spend your life chasing something, and you don't realize until you get much older what you've been doing, what your mistake is. You get 30 years in a company, and of course you're frustrated. You start to get bitter because you're trying to figure out, how did I get here 30 years? And now all I want to do, I'm at my pissivity. My level of pissivity is this. If my manager say one more thing to me, I swear I'm going to catch a charge. Your pissivity is up here right now. And you're trying to figure out How do I get out of this situation? You're thinking to yourself, well, I'm getting older now, so it's hard to really compete in the job market where younger people are coming out of college and they're looking for younger people. Maybe you're a woman. Maybe you're overweight. Maybe you don't have a lot of skills because you spent a lot of time in this one job, learning this one job, that you don't have a lot of other skills to really make you competitive on the job market. Or worse, maybe you're getting really older and you're getting close to retirement and you're trying to figure out what am I going to do now, because now you're getting close to retirement and you're looking at, oh, that may be some freedom, but wait. No. Retirement is not freedom, because guess what? I didn't save for my retirement. So now when I leave this job, I got to leave here and work a lesser job to make up for the money that Social Security is not paying me so I can live every day. So now I can't go travel the world. I can't live my best life, go visit my grandkids, or just sit home and watch Jerry Springer and be okay eating ice cream all day, because now I got to go work. I got to leave this job to work a whole nother job because I don't have enough money saved up. But don't feel bad if you're not saving up for retirement. Don't feel bad. And don't think I'm judging you because of that. Just think about it for a second, people. Let's put it in context of our children, all right? A lot of times we tell our children the importance of putting education above video games. I know it's a conversation I have in my house. You have that conversation? Let me know. I have that conversation in my house with my son all the time. Both of my kids. I tell them, like, yo, I get that you like YouTube and watching other people play on YouTube. I get that you love your video games, but you need to spend more time on your education, because that's going to really open the doors for freedom. You talking about you want to drive a Lamborghini, your education and learning and getting skills is going to help you get that Lamborghini. Now, of course, yeah, you can become a professional game player, and you know what? If you can become good enough and work hard enough, then maybe you can become that, and that will get you a Lamborghini too. But having the education is also going to teach you how to count your money and make sure that nobody can take advantage of you. But our kids don't understand. They don't hear that. They hear us talking about education, but see, our children like us, they're not thinking 20 years from now. You got a 10-year-old child, you got a 15-year-old child. They're not thinking about when they're ready to get out here in the real world. They're not thinking about that right now. They're stuck in the moment right now. In the moment right now, what's more important to them is their video games, not getting an education, not sitting there worrying about how they're going to pay for their car payment or house. They're not thinking about that. All right, let's put that in context of you right now. You may be in your 30s, your 40s, maybe your late 40s. Are you really thinking about retirement right now? Hell no. You think about how I'm paying this darn car payment right now. Man, I got this darn cell phone bill I got to pay right now. I'm trying to go on a cruise right now. I'm trying to go out to the club with my friends this weekend. I'm focused more on that. How am I going to pay for retirement? I'm barely making enough money to pay my goddamn bills and keep food on my table. I'm barely making enough for ends meet. So how am I going to pay for retirement? Well, it's simply combined to what our children are thinking, sort of how we're thinking. We're not thinking that far ahead. Now, once our children get to the age where they're out on their own, hey, mom, my phone bill is, due, my car insurance is due. Can you help me out? And you looking like, well, no, you got to get a job. Where's your paycheck? Well, mom, I've been sitting home playing video games. I've been playing Fortnite, and I spent my whole paycheck on Fortnite. I've been spending all my time on Fortnite because, Fortnite, you got to get the new battle pass and new skin. You tell Fortnite is like a big thing in my house with my kids. Probably same here at yours. Fortnite's driving me crazy. I'm telling you, look, Fortnite getting more money than Verizon getting from me at this point. That's nor here or there. But the point is, your kids talking about, yeah, I've been playing Fortnite and stuff. And you looking at them like, well, you should have thought about that. You should have thought about your car insurance when you thought that battle pass was so important. And then when you get older and you get to your 60s and 70 years old and you start saying the same thing. Like, you should have thought about retirement before you thought about going buy those red bottom shoes or them new Jordans. You should have thought about retirement because the $200 you put on Jordans, you could have stuck that in the retirement. You could have invested that. You know what? You probably have freedom today, but we all live in the moment. We all live in the moment, and sometimes it's difficult for us to see in the future. And then we get to that point where we're just looking for that glimpse of freedom because we've been working all of our lives. We're looking for that glimpse of freedom. We're looking for that glimpse of peace because now is the time. I've been working hard. I've been raising my kids. I've been doing everything I'm supposed to do. Now I just want some freedom. I want some me time. I need that peace in my life. I've been stressed out with work, dealing with crazy bosses, crazy co-workers. I've been dealing with all kinds of things. I've been unappreciated at work. I've been unappreciated at home, I just want some freedom. I want some peace. And we can't find it. We can't find it because we feel that someone else took it from us. Or someone didn't afford us the opportunity to make enough money where we could create and start saving up for retirement. They enforce the opportunity to be able to work from home or do other things that we want to do that we feel will give us some sense of freedom. But the reality of the situation is, it's not what someone else did or didn't do for us. It's what we didn't do for ourselves. Think about it. A person can't do to you or me what we don't allow them to. Now, they can try to impede on our peace, but we have to give them the opportunity. We have to give them the time, the energy. We got to give them our focus for them to impede on our peace. A person can try to impede on your freedom, and a lot of times convicts and police have done such as setting people up, wrong place at wrong time, playing evidence, sort of things like that. We'll talk about that in another episode, by the way. We'll talk about that in another episode. Forcing people into prison to impede on their freedom and taking away their freedom. But see, freedom is a part of our mindset. Because no matter where you are, what you're doing, freedom can be obtained if you allow your mind to expand past the walls, the restrictions, the limits that other people have set for you. Because you understand something about limitation? It kind of rhymes with imagination, doesn't it? So when you really think about it, limitations or a lot of other things that's impeding on your freedom, your peace in your life. Limitations are like that old Temptation song. It's just my imagination once again, running away from me. Okay, you tired of me singing yet, people? I know you love my singing. Stop acting like you don't love my singing. Don't look at me like that. You love me singing right now, so stop acting like you don't love my singing, all right? But seriously, though, limitations are just something impeding on your imagination and forcing you to imagine that the freedom and peace that you're seeking doesn't exist. So before we end this off, you probably wondered, Alan, you told us how we can obtain freedom and how we need to clean out our closets and all that, but what about when we're dealing with our jobs and our bosses? Because I'm ready to punch my boss right now. I'm ready to WWE my boss in the conference room, because if they come to the conference room for another meaningless meeting, I'm telling you, I'm going to WWE them. First thing you have to do is you have to ask yourself, what do you want? Now, I want to get real with you for a second. We only got like a minute left, all right? So we got to do this quick. What do you want? Because I'm coming to you right now as a personal genie, all right? Imagine I'm coming to you as a personal genie. This is just part of your imagination. All right? We're going to use our imagination for good this time, all right? I'm not going to say it to y'all. I'm your personal genie and ask you, what do you want? What does freedom look like to you? Tell me, what do you want? I asked my wife this question. I said, where do you want to live? She said, well, I want to live somewhere hot or warm. I want to live somewhere that's not, the cost of living is not high. And I want to live somewhere exciting. And I stopped her right there and said, okay, be careful what you say. I'm going to tell you the same thing. Be careful what you say, because I said, you just explained hell. I said, what? I said, think about it. Hell is hot. The cost of living is free. And it's exciting. Now, exciting is different, because exciting can be scary. Exciting can be fun. And hell is clearly scary. So be careful what you're asking for. So what I'm telling you is, if you want your peace, you want your freedom, be careful what you're asking for, and make sure that you're very clear, because the personal genie is staying in front of you right now. You don't have to chase a $100 bill. Just the $1,000, stacks of $1,000 is standing right in front of you. So just be clear of what you want. What is peace to you? What is freedom to you? Ask yourself that. Not what somebody else imagines freedom be. Not what everybody else see peace as. What is yours? Let go of toxic people and toxic things out of your mind, your body, and spirit. Cleanse yourself. It's time for y'all and us all to spring clean. Let it go. Let go of the stuff that's inside you. Let go of the stuff that's bothering you, whether it's at work, your personal life, or your home. Clean out those drawers, those closets, and organize those pots. It's time to be free, people. It's time to live in peace. I want to thank you for listening to another episode of Past the Present Podcast. Until next time I see you, people, stay away from your imagination. Don't listen to my singing. Stay tuned. Stay healthy. Peace.